Welcome to week 14 of the Tonto's Demise podcast. I'm Hillbillies on PCP, Tonto Bulls 6 champ, sitting here with my iPad, and that's literally it. Delling stood me up, Bigler is standing me up, and I wish this were some elaborate prank where everyone's gonna start popping in. Ha ha ha. Nope, they really stood me up. Delling said he had a work party for some going away, some girl that he likes, and she's going away, so he had to go to the party instead of, basically brag to the podcast. He's got first place. Bigler said, "Yeah, I can do it," and I said, "Cool. How about 8:30?" No response, and it is now 9:20. So I think I'm getting stood up. So it's gonna be me and Thursday Night Football. So, anyways, let's get into it. Unfinished business. All right. My unfinished business, and I'm going to pull up my screen to illustrate something, is with a few people. Hold on one second. First, my unfinished business. Let me go to the main league page here. Look at some standings. Is one that I do believe that I know Bigler would share with me, and that's with our friend Dub C. Hooligans, who is now somehow locked into that playoff spot and has a chance of getting a bye. And the reason I have unfinished business with you, Bean, is because the time you played Jay and he neglected to put in Joe Burrow instead of Aaron Rodgers. Well, I didn't hear you calling him or putting something on the lineup to get him to start putting the correct players in. However, now when you're trying to get your bye, you're trying to pull all the strings so that the players that you need to win, the teams that you need to win, you're making sure they've got the best possible lineup. And that seems like a contradiction because if you really cared about the integrity of the league, you would have called Jay before Thursday Night Football and say, "Hey, did you mean to keep Aaron Rodgers in there, or did you want to play Joe Burrow?" Of course, you want to play Joe Burrow. Nobody wants to put Aaron Rodgers in this year. So, your third place, like Bigler said, has a huge asterisk next to it. Actually, it should have two because one of them is for the playoffs. But in reality, your record should be 7-6, and with no guarantee of getting in. So, because your point total, well, like you said, your point total with Gags is ridiculous. The fact that you have a tied record. So it should be a three-way race between you, Gags, and Possum. But unfortunately, the way it stands, it's a fight between Gags and Possum. And I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I'm all about Team Possum Magic. Go Tree. He does not have the points right now, so he probably most likely needs Gags to lose. But Possum definitely deserves to be there. My other unfinished business, I got two more things. One is with myself. And no, it's not about starting Deshaun Watson, which I shouldn't have done, but it's actually about pulling the trigger on a trade. Tree and I were going for a trade. I think I mentioned it once before. And since the trade deadline's passed, it doesn't even matter. I offered him Deshaun Watson and I think Jeff Wilson Jr. And I think he might have declined that because he said he wanted ETN. Well, hindsight, I should have just taken it. I should have given up ETN. I should have, given Watson ETN for Josh Jacobs because I would, at this point, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that I would be 7-6 with Josh Jacobs on my team. I would have a really, really good chance of being in the playoffs. And Possum Magic, I don't think wins the last two games without Josh Jacobs. So I should have taken it. I should have taken the risk. I put a lot of value in ETN, which I think he's going to be a good player, but I only have him for one more year, so I should have just said forget it, give him up, but I didn't. But yeah, I didn't watch Craig's recap, so I'm sure he tore me a new one for playing Deshaun Watson. I stand by it. I thought they were going to crush Houston, which they did. I just didn't expect like 3 defensive touchdowns, the punt return and then the 2 defensive touchdowns gives Deshaun no opportunities to play. I think he would have scored exactly what Fields did and Dak did, but here I am on the outside looking in, and I'm watching my boy Cam Akers do what he usually does tonight, scoring like 1 point with a fumble already. That's what I expected last week. That's why he was on my bench. So anyway, let's see if I have any other unfinished business. Not really, just the fact that Detling declined. Oh my goodness, look who just showed up. Oh my, I hope you are coming in here with shame because we are recording live right now. I hope you feel so shameful right now. And now if you're trying to talk, Disco, you're on mute. Maybe he left. I don't know what's going on. I bet you he was trying to get in on hold on a second. Oh wow, Disco just texted me, said I was at a concert. Well, hopefully he can get in here. All right, we'll wait for him here. Because I'll tell you what. There he comes. Disco, are you there? While we're waiting here, I'm just gonna say, man, Devontae Adams, he has been nothing but phenomenal this year.
Yo,
There he is.
sorry.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, dude, I just got home from a winter concert.
Whose concert was it? Marley's?
Yeah, Marley's.
Nice.
So it was like, generally these things are like an hour 15, something like that. This one was 2+, man. They had
Nice.
some wardrobe changes in between and all sorts of stuff. Look at this. I got the hat.
Wow,
look at dust this guy off, and it's not even.
You're flustered. Hey, we're recording already.
That's cool. That's
Okay.
cool.
I don't know. Just in case you're gonna say something bad about Kevin Bean, because I already did.
Dude, you just saved me. My neck. I was after my next breath. I was gonna be like, you know what? Fuck Kevin Bean with his ass.
That's usually how you sign on.
Yeah, exactly. So thankfully, that didn't happen.
How did Marley do? She kill it?
Right. Yeah, really good. They did one song from like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Oh, yeah.
So, dude, her fingers like on the top of her flute were just like
just dancing.
Cool. Yeah, she was working hard. Nice. Earning her paycheck tonight. Anyway,
just to catch you up with the podcast that I was doing solo, I basically tore into you. I tore into Detling, pretty mild mannered, but that was part of my unfinished business. The other thing was I went up and down through the standings and I just recapped how Dub C definitely doesn't belong to be in third. He shouldn't even have an asterisk next to his name. No, he should be in probably 5th or 6th.
I think 5th is where he belongs.
Yeah, he would be tied. He would literally be tied right now for 5th place with. Well, I guess he'd be tied. Yeah, tied for 5th with Gags, since they have the same point total, which is nuts.
Oh wow, they have exactly the same.
I know. That's ridiculous.
Wild.
Yeah, but that's where he belongs. And I also just pointed out that he was nowhere to be found whenever he was playing Jay, and he didn't put in his best lineup. Jay, he had Aaron Rodgers in there instead of Joe Burrow, but he didn't help Jay set his lineup then. But now he's basically knocking down Jay's door to get him to put in the right lineup.
Can somebody get a hold of these guys? These dummy lineups. Yeah, I thought that was funny as hell.
So it's like if he really cared about the integrity of the league, he would have made sure that Joe Burrow was in there, or at least he would have reached out to him before kickoff.
Can you see that happening?
No.
Never, right? Never. Anyway, so yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure that this is pretty depressing. You got 2 guys hosting that just got KO'd from the playoffs.
Yeah,
pretty rough. It's hard to get into this shit. I really don't give a fuck about what happens here.
I'm the same
Honestly,
way.
tonight,
I
this
was about ready to close
weekend.
this computer.
Yeah, it's gross. Like I don't care.
But you know what? Now we know how Craig has felt for the last 8 weeks?
Yeah, well, since week what, 6?
At least, yeah, week 6. So yeah, about the last,
Thank you.
yeah. Wow, that's the last 8 weeks. That's crazy. This is not a good feeling. So
No, it feels like shit when
yeah,
you're eliminated, but it also feels kind of liberating where it's like, you know what, cool. Now I can breathe. You can
yes,
watch some football for
yes.
I
once.
find it to be liberating.
Maggie loves it. She's back here peanut gathering. She loves it because then she can see my anxiety is a lot less
Yeah, you're back.
prevalent.
Yeah,
I'm not checking my tablet all day on a Sunday anymore. So
exactly. And going into the holidays, you can actually enjoy the holidays and not have to be worried on a Saturday, Sunday.
yeah,
about
instead of
what's
being like, get
happening.
out of here, family. Come
Yes,
on.
yes,
Team's
yes.
playing. Don't even look at me.
Now, if I had the opportunity to be in the playoffs, would I take it? Of course.
Sure.
Yeah,
But since you're not, you might as well enjoy it, dude.
yeah.
So
Enjoy.
you know that Maddie drinks that Malox bottle before bed every night. He's looking at Darren Waller like, please come back, baby. Make me look good. Don't be letting Disco take off with my pickings.
Oh man,
Which, by the way, great trade, Disco. Yeah, like I would have won with my regular lineup. Oh yeah, unfinished business. Like Taysom Hill, catch that pass, dude, and then we just coast to victory. But now, not only did a Saints player leave the door wide open, it was my own guy, Brian. So that kind of felt right.
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
That's poetic justice for you.
Absolutely. Like, and you watch the play, it's like, dude, why are you trying to turn up field? It's 3rd and 17. Someone's gonna kill you when you should be lucky to even catch that pass. But no, he's like, he wants to turn up field and start juking some guys. Like, dude, the game's over if you get. Not to mention, what was Mark Ingram doing?
Yeah, yeah.
What was Mark Ingram? I don't care if you're hurt or not, dude. The guy gave you a free pass to the sticks. You didn't take it. Cost me another possession. Yeah, that game was stupid. That was dumb at the end. But again, I don't want to have to sit here and root against Tree Sice and Gags. Like, I'd rather just not root.
Exactly, because if you and I had won, which we could have, but we didn't. Like, yeah, you'd have to basically hope that we all three of us lost, right?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I needed you and Possum to lose again. Like,
Yep.
I don't like that. That's no fun for anybody.
No.
So
We don't like the hate watch.
no, and the good news is, Craig did his job and lost, even though
Yes.
Johnny picked up Indy's D, and then forgot to put him in. Didn't matter. And I think I said right here on this podcast that Detroit's D was the play.
Yes.
And they had 26 fantasies. I added it up.
That's awesome. I love it. The other thing
Everybody's
is,
disrespecting Detroit's D, and I was like, you know what? That's a good matchup from the teams on the waivers, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Didn't matter. Craig still lost. Unless he beats me by 175 this week, then he's gonna finish in the basement.
Well, who's Jay playing this week anyway?
Somebody's gonna lose too.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Yeah, biscuits and porn, but
yeah, biscuits.
So there's if Craig wins, there's a chance that he gets out of the basement.
Yeah, I'd hate to see. You'd hate to see that, and especially given the Joe Burrow thing.
Exactly.
Saquon should be just above you at 5 and 8.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He'd have just a few more points. Which is fitting. That's where he should be.
Yeah, and then I belong right where I'm at, right around. My point totals is 11th, I think. So I'm right where I should be. Yeah. That's what you get with Russ Wilson as your quarterback for the year. Like, if anybody made the playoffs with that guy on their team, then they're better at this than I am. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. If they made that, then they'd have to pick up Russ in like the 13th round or something crazy like that, and somehow hit all the other picks.
What a stupid year. I hate looking at this.
I know
so much. This is so dumb.
Let's look at something else real quick. Let's look at trade time. Trade time.
Trading guys. Excellent.
All right, let's take a look because this will at least make you smile a little bit. Well, that's the trading block. That's not possible.
What? I don't think I've ever been on that page before.
I've seen it before. I don't know if anyone's ever used it before.
I don't think I know how, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah, like you could put people on the block.
Hmm.
Jenny on the block. All right, let's see here. The only trade from this week was Disco and Yinzer, and I have a little tidbit to put in here about this trade. Darren Waller, you finally got rid of him. You've been trying to get rid of him for what, at least half the season.
I think it was right before that. Remember that Chiefs game? I think it was week 4 or 5. And I was like, I said to you, I was like, dude, I need him to have a good game so I can trade him. And then he played like 4 snaps and got hurt. And he's never been back since. So yeah.
The biggest surprise is that you were able to actually get rid of him. Like Detling took the bait.
Well, and I kind of put actually, because I should tell everybody, we do have like a 3-man chat, Brian,
Sure.
Maddie, and myself, generally for trying to get together on some Rocket League or Mario Kart. And so when I was like pitching this trade to Maddie, I accidentally put it into the trade. So you got to see a glimpse of what I was talking about kind of beforehand.
Yep.
So I offered this to him, and then I said to him, dude, basically what I said was, you can't be carting out Likely or Conker's Bad Fur Day in the playoffs.
Which is absolutely true.
Absolutely true. And it's a gamble, of course. But despite what Kevin Beats says, Darren Waller is good at football, and he's better than the alternatives if healthy. So
he is planning to play week 15, right?
Right. And so Maddie doesn't play a significant game until week 16.
Yeah.
So
you can check him out.
I mean, he's not going to be playing Pickens either in the playoffs. Yeah. Certainly not after what he just did. You can't trust the guy. So I think both guys won this trade. I think I won because he's on the IR. He was never going to see a snap for me. And you got
an elite receiver for the next 2 years. If you want him, or you could trade him with somebody.
There's a lot of Pittsburgh fans in this league, so it's good to have trade bait for that sort of thing.
You could definitely,
even if I got like a 9th for him or something. That's still like
I can't remember, when did he draft him, the 10th or the 11th or
somewhere around there. I think
he might be a 10th or 11th round keeper.
Right. And so someone might want that. If not, that's cool. I'll throw him back in the pool. I'm not gonna like give him away, but
but the fact that like Waller, you're not going to keep him, so might as well get something out of him.
Yeah, no, he'd have to be a 4th rounder next year, and that's gross. Nobody wants that. So
I sent Detling a text probably about 20 minutes after your trade went through, which I didn't know went through, because we had been going back and forth, and I was trying to give him DJ Moore for Pickens straight up. And I was like, DJ Moore got more value than Pickens, probably. He has a higher ceiling, I think.
Yeah, I do.
And I thought it was going to go through. And I said, hey, what about this trade? And then you said trade time. And I went over and looked at it, I was like, oh. And I went back to him and was like, F you, forget it.
Well, and it's weird because he was optimistic when that happened, and then look what happened. KW3 hurt his ankle.
Yes.
It's been said I have him in my other league. I'm not exactly pleased about that, but boy, did that deflate the poor bastard. He's like, I don't care, I'll trade him. Fuck him. I hate him. Like, it's not his fault, dude.
Hurt. You and I, and probably other people in the league, have been trying to get KW3 off of him. Mm-hmm. And he right now, as it stands, he could have had Devontae Adams on his team if he would have traded KW3. Because I offered him KW3. I said, I'll give you Devontae for KW3 and George Pickens. And he said, no way. And I was like, that's fine.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
hindsight's 2020. He won KW3 for 3 years, which he still could if he wants. But Devontae Adams would be looking really sweet on his team right now.
And it's kind of like when you see we'll get to his lineup here in a minute, but you got to throw in Amari Cooper in there, and that's weird for you sometimes. And then
he also could have had Kelsey for the same trade. I said KW3 and Pickens, Kelsey. He said, no way, I can't get with KW3. I'm like, you're crazy.
Yeah, well, he asked me what I wanted when I was shopping Taylor, and that's what I said. And he basically like laughed in my face.
I
So
know. Oh, I know. It's funny how that comes back in his face.
it's funny how, yeah, it's funny how that didn't age well for him. But we'll see. Hopefully he's healthy by the time. You know, you never want guys getting hurt in the playoffs. So hopefully he'll be back for Maddie in the playoffs.
Yes. All right. It's all about the Benjamins. Baby.
Baby.
And it looks like there was only one competing offer, which is really, really sad. Possum Magic limping in there with $0. And Ed Logger taking DJ Chark for $2.
First of all, Ed Logger's got like almost all of his fab.
Exactly.
And the way he plays poker, you'd think he doesn't care about money, you know.
That's also true.
But when it comes to that fab, he just likes to squeeze those coins and see if they'll turn into a dollar bill, you know. But it worked. I mean,
did.
his $2 worked. Let's scroll down a little bit
Yeah.
because I saw this. Look at this one here.
Oh man, I love it.
For $99, Brian, why don't you tell us about this one?
Sandro Platzgummer.
Pea gummy.
And
I find myself every year like totally perplexed that this guy is even like available. Like what? He's never played down
I know.
in the
I
NFL.
love it.
But for some reason, he's just sitting there every year, and I gotta have him.
So you spent all of your money on 2 players this year.
I did. Well,
Anything
aside
else
from
$101?
$3, yeah. Because I think Taysom I did 98. So yeah,
Oh,
aside
okay.
from $3.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
But I just did that because my season's over. No use for the money. I didn't want anybody else sneaking in and grabbing Platts gum. And so I just blew my load all over it. And also I thought about putting in like waivers for guys like Hunter Henry, but I didn't want to. I don't know if you remember this when I picked up Ty Montgomery
Yeah.
when I was already eliminated, like my first year back when Jimmy wanted him. And I was like, oh, it's a keeper league, so I should. But then I felt so bad, but he wouldn't have won with him anyway. So that thankfully it didn't like affect the playoff outcome. But ever since then, I was like, man, you got to get out of the way and let these guys do their playoff things. That's kind of what I did with Noah Fan. I was like, well, I'll just wait till waivers go through and just pick up whatever tight end I can get.
Whoever's actually available, because
yeah,
really anybody you're picking up this late, you're probably not going to keep, most likely.
exactly. And I didn't want to mess up Josh's. I knew he needed a tight end, so I didn't want to screw with that. So that's why I didn't bid on Hunter Henry. I think that's a good pickup there. But
yeah, and that's good karma, man. That is good karma.
Yeah, like I said, dude, I fucking felt so stupid when I did that to Jimmy. It's like, what the fuck were you doing? I was like, oh, I'm stupid. I'm sorry, keeper league, and I'm real sorry. And thankfully, it didn't hurt you. But
it's like people get upset.
Never forget that.
People get upset if you like bail out on the league. People get upset if you try too hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're eliminated,
yeah,
I think there's definitely some sort of unspoken rule where it's like, just don't fuck up anybody's shit. I mean, if we're talking about a guy, look, if I was to go out and pick up Hunter Henry and want to keep him next year, that'd have been a completely legitimate play.
Sure.
But still, I would have felt kind of smarmy about it. So
now you can sleep in peace.
Yeah. It's just step out the way and let these guys go after each other.
Yep. All right, let's see here. What do we want to do for the matchup of the week?
Well, I think it should involve probably Gagsy or Possum.
I agree because the most is riding on that. I'm saying Gags versus Garbage Dopes because if Garbage Dopes win, then they might not get the Rivers jersey,
I'm with that.
Yeah, and Gags, he needs a win.
Okay, so then we can do Tree Slice's game next to last, I guess, and then
that works. Wow.
So,
this final week it's going to be really close between Possum and Gags. You would think that Gags is going to be able to hold on.
Yeah. What are they? Ryan can't catch him in play?
I think he's pretty far behind, because especially if he wins, I think he's got to be like 70 points away, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like about
Yeah.
60,
Yeah.
61 and a half.
That's a tough mountain to climb in 1 week.
Although
It could
when
happen.
you drop 225 on someone like he did last week.
That's very true. That's very true. When you got Josh Jacobs on your team,
Right. Well, I don't know how he's doing so far. He's in the green.
yeah, he's
Like I
got.
said, I just got home.
I think
So
those are all his points. 13.6.
oh, his car only have 12. Like, great job, Derek Carr. Yes, this is why I'm glad I'm out. Like, this would be insufferable otherwise. Like, what?
Yeah,
I'd be miserable.
exactly. All right.
All right,
What do you want to do first?
ladies' choice.
All right. Let's do your matchup. I'll do your matchup.
All right.
Right.
This week's matchups.
Matchup. Love that was lovely.
Thank you. I was just at a chorus concert. So
I can tell.
kind of rubbed off.
All right, in the first matchup of the week, we have the defending champion, Shawshank Athletic. Somehow, this would have been such an amazing last week if he had lost the last two games or even the last one. It would be beautiful for him to see him like just squirm with this
Squirming.
week 14 matchup against Disco with the trade of the year by far. I mean, the implications were through the roof. So first off, quarterback, we got Derek Carr versus Herbert. You'd like to see Carr here, but it doesn't look like he's gonna have to do a whole lot in the second half.
Yeah, give me Herbert. And real quick, this was going to be part of my unfinished business, and I just wanted to throw this out there real quick. So last week, Derek Carr threw for 250, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Tom Brady threw for 281, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. And Brady outscored him by 22 points
Oh
because of
wow.
points per completion. It's not my fault that Derek Carr just throws freaking lobby bombs down the field, but we have to rectify this, guys. Is fucking bullshit. Tom Brady had 30 more yards than Derek Carr, exact same stat line, except he had 20 more completions. At least think about a half-point PPC for next year, guys. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it.
That is pretty dramatic. Did you say basically a 20-point swing?
It was Carr had 33 and Brady had 55, so
Yeah.
22 points. And again, Brady
Pretty much
281, 2 and
identical
1
numbers.
versus
Yeah.
250, 2 and 1, and that 30 yards isn't worth 22 points as far as I'm concerned. But
No, because it doesn't really take skill to do the dump offs and the 5 yard, 5 yard outs.
it just
That's
makes
so
guys
cool.
like Jared Goff great at
Yeah.
fantasy in a way.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
exactly. So we can basically say, you remember the first 20 years of our league, how stupid points per completion was?
Seriously, well, I mean, and Craig's rode Alex Smith to the title
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
What you really want is a quarterback that's going to lead his team to a 6-11 record, and you know what
That's
I mean.
right.
And with a terrible defense, that's your fantasy quarterback,
Right.
apparently.
That's why Fitzmagic was so great for so long. Like he's not a great quarterback. He throws a lot of passes and he's usually playing from behind.
I just think that it's overpowered a little bit. The
Yeah.
when Mahomes can light you for 85, why am I even making a lineup, dude?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm good for half point PPC. I'd be surprised if it gets shot down. I think most people are on board.
I know my man Ed Logger's into it. I know you're into
I think
it.
Bean's into it.
Probably. Maddie, he's not doesn't have Josh Allen again, so
Yeah,
he might be into it.
yeah, he doesn't like change.
Right, and that's the main thing is by the
Yeah.
time we get to the draft, everybody's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, hey, has anybody got any minutes from the last draft? Anybody want to read the minutes?" And everybody's like, "Can we just get on with it? God damn it,
Yep,
I got to
and then it
drive
won't
4
and then it
hours
won't
home."
happen. That's why
Exactly.
maybe we shouldn't do rule changes at the draft. Maybe what we should do, this I'm just throwing it out here. This is like unfinished business. Maybe like 2 weeks before the draft, we all get onto Zoom meeting for an hour, have a meeting. I think this is realistic. Have a meeting about any rule changes. And if you don't want to show up, that's fine. But we do a vote, and if it goes through, it goes through. Because I agree, like draft day is too nuts.
And maybe even like right after the season, because
Yeah,
or something like that, because it's still fresh in your mind. By the time we get to August, I'll forget about the time that Matt Ryan had 41 completions and blew me away. Like I
yeah,
won't care. So I don't know. Something to think about. Anyways, I don't want to like, just
yeah. And it's not because you're salty, right?
listen, I say this every year and nothing ever happens. So, but I just want to throw it out there again and let everybody know that I think PPC is garbage. I don't think that it's, you had that Kyler Murray, Andy Dalton thing last year where like Murray played out of his mind, but he only had 10 completions. And
Yeah,
everybody's like, well, he must suck, even though when you stroke somebody for an 80-yard bomb, it's better than when you,
it is.
it's harder to do.
It's harder to do than like 8 completions for 6 yards.
Yeah, I don't know. And Jimmy's right. If Fournette had caught in every pass, but he did have to stay in and block, especially at the end of the game. So
Yeah. And
that was tough.
meanwhile, we have Baker Mayfield playing for the Rams, which is just nuts.
Is he in? I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
even booted up the
They
game.
did.
Dude.
They only did one series with the other quarterback. I don't even know what the other quarterback was.
That Walford guy.
Yeah, Walford. Yep. They did one series with him, and then second series it's been Mayfield since.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is. He hasn't looked bad. He hasn't looked good. He hasn't looked good. He's looked like Mayfield.
Hate the guy.
I know. All right, that was the longest quarterback analysis.
I wasn't here for unfinished business. That was kind of my unfinished business.
I'll take Herbert.
Yeah, give me Herbert. Anyway.
All right, receivers. Chase, Waddle, and Judy versus Wilson, Lockett, and Smith-Schuster. I'm
Just
going you.
I'd get used to that Chase and Waddle in my lineup, by the way. Is that Triple J right there, Brian?
It is Triple J. Triple J. I love it.
Look out. All
The
right.
sad part is like he could have had Chase, Cup. Well, he couldn't have had all three, but he could have had like at least 2 of those huge names that he traded away. And now he's left with Wilson, Lockett, and Smith-Schuster. So he did it to himself. All right. Running backs, Elliott McKinnon versus Henry and Harris.
Give me Henry.
Yeah, Henry. Henry's the only.
It's a good matchup there.
All right. And look at this. In the tight end, we've got Hunter Henry, who you could have had, which you declined to take, and go with Noah Fant. I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll give it to Hunter Henry.
This is how much I care, Brian. I don't give a
know.
fuck. Give me Hunter Henry. Why not? He has 2 Henrys, Derek and Hunter.
That's true.
He should have put them next to each other.
Oh my goodness. Missed opportunity right there.
Yeah, the Henry brothers. Maybe next week.
All right. We got Fournette versus Myers. I don't know what's going on with the health of these two.
I'll take Uncle Lenny.
I'm going to take Myers since he's going against San Fran.
Gross, dude. I thought you were on board for the rest of the
year. McPherson or Badgley. I'll take McPherson. San Fran versus KC. Oof.
Give me KC.
Yeah, KC versus Cook.
Versus Denver.
Yeah.
What's better?
Anybody versus Denver.
Oh my god.
Now,
overall, I gotta give it to Josh because my team's gonna show about as much care as I'm showing right now about this shit.
Yeah, I love your receivers.
Over, man.
Love your receivers.
I do too. Yeah. Listen, next year's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
Chase and Waddle. Be fun.
Yeah. All right. I'm still gonna go Josh.
Yeah.
He's a Herbert and Casey and Henry.
Hey, he's trying to get that bye like everybody, right? It's kind of tight for that bye. So
does Josh have a chance at that bye?
Maybe not point wise.
I don't think so. I don't think he's got a shot at it. And look at that bench. Komet, Taylor, and Scary Terry.
Oh, what a strange coincidence that they're all off when they played me.
That was so crazy.
Don't get torched by your own guys, Brian. That's rule number 1.
That's right. I really would have loved to see that happen.
It's a shame. It's a downright shame. All right.
Take my matchup.
You got it. All right. In this next matchup, we've got clinching the playoffs is still not enough for him, even though they give it to him. and they don't play Joe Burrow. And we're of course talking about the Dub C Hooligans coming in third place, 8-5, who was really rooting for me last week, and it's the reason I lost. You never want Kevin Bean rooting for you. And then finally going up against another heartbreaking non-18-point kicker night for Sakop.
Thank you.
Should have had Badgley, my man.
Yeah, I should have
eliminated as well, and it's
couldn't find the kicker. Couldn't find the right kicker this year.
It's tough out there, Brian. All right, that quarterback we've got, you might as well throw him out there.
Yep.
Deshaun Watson going up against Geno Smith. And actually, I'm gonna go Watson this time.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati's gonna put up some points. So
I think they're gonna. He's gonna, be a little more familiar with the plays and shit. And,
yeah, it hasn't been 500 days since his last game, so there's that.
Or 700 even. Okay.
Is that how many it was?
Yeah, 700. Okay. And in the wide receiver, we got the triple D of Devontae Adams, Deontay Johnson, and DJ Moore going up against Just Jet. Ooh.
Wow, look at that.
Debo Samuel and Josh Palmer. I gotta go with Kevin's wide receivers here.
Just Jeff, I'm gonna have to go with him as well. Deontay's still looking for that first touchdown on the year. We're still looking. Hopefully we're gonna find it.
I didn't even realize you said that really last week until I watched it back. I kind of get a little interrupty based on watching my own performances, but
of course.
Yeah, no touchdowns. That's wild.
Yeah, he's got a couple drop touchdowns, but no actually hauled in.
So weird. All right, next year will be better.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not on my team, somebody else's team.
Right. And at running back, we got my man JWJ and Travis Etienne Jr. going up against CMC and Ramondre Stevenson. Oh boy.
One of the best picks of the draft.
Maybe the best, Brian. Yeah, I gotta give it to Kevin again.
Me too. CMC.
All right. Well, we love when this is easy, Brian. We got Kelsey going up against Everett. And then in the flex, we've got
yeah, that's exactly right.
In the flex, we've got Akers going up against we're not gonna dignify that with an answer. Going up against Pacheco. I guess give me Pacheco based on
based on the fumble. And the fact that he got 2 touchdowns last week and he's not going to do anything else this week. Yeah.
Oh, Brian, and you know how much I love when people flex their running back and on Thursday.
I know you do.
So thank you for that. And that could only mean that you're eliminated from the playoffs.
Exactly.
Okay. And then for
kickers, the only place I could have put him.
Right. And then kickers, we've got Sakop going up against Prater, baby. Oh, man. Give me Sakop.
Yeah, I'll take Sakop. Why not?
Sure. And then finally, we got Pittsburgh against Huntley and Baltimore, I think. And then going up against Tennessee at home versus Jacksonville. I still got to go with Kevin again. Damn.
Okay, I'm gonna go Pittsburgh there.
No quad D's. Yeah. Look at that projection for Dak Prescott. Whoa.
I know that's a little out there. I mean, they're playing Houston. I think they're gonna steamroll him, and I just don't think he's gonna get 50. I don't think he doesn't need to get 50. Yeah. Who did they crush last week? And I think he got 37 points.
They played. Shit, who did they play? Zeke did pretty well. I forget. No, who cares?
I'll take a quick look just for the heck of it.
Oh, Indy, that's right. Indy, that's Sunday nighter.
Yeah. So when I saw that score, I was like, man, Dak probably crushed. Nope. Because I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, no, he's weird.
Yeah.
Really, if you don't have Allen or Mahomes, then you never feel 100% confident with your quarterback, I don't think. This year. Maybe Herbert too, but yeah, overall, I'm going to give it to you, Brian, because I never beat Kevin.
Kevin doesn't deserve it. This is going to be the karma that, puts everything back into balance, and he doesn't get the bye, so I'm going to say me.
Yep. Good win for you, Brian. All right.
All right. Let's go to let's do I guess Saquon. Yeah, let's do Saquon versus Biscuits and Porn. It's kind of a meaningless game. Well, no, it's not, because Biscuits and Porn needs to win this game. All right, the next matchup, we've got Biscuits and Porn. Jim going up against Saquon and 8 So. And hopefully Jay put in the lineup that Kevin Bean wanted. He's really trying to pull those strings. Jay, Jay texted me. He's like, "Did you know that I was awoken by Kevin Bean this week at 5:30 in the morning?" I'm like,
Get
"Why?"
out of here.
He's like, "He texted me. He texted me on the messenger app and it dinged, and he wanted me to put in a running back. He made sure I put a waiver claim in." I was like, "He's like, I'm sleeping over here."
Oh my God.
So for that reason, yeah, I definitely hope Jay does not pull out this win. He doesn't need it, but I hope that he loses with a lot of points so that Craig can't overtake him. It's all convoluted here. But first off, we got Brady versus Burrow, and I'm gonna give that one to Burrow.
Burrow.
Yeah. All right, and we got Devontae Smith, CeeDee Lamb, Rondale Moore versus AJ Brown, Tyler Boyd, and Captain Kirk.
Oh, Brian, I just don't care, man.
Ryan, same here. Same here. I'm like just going through the motions here.
This is really tough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys at home. Yeah, I don't know. Give me CeeDee Lamb, I guess.
Yeah, I guess against Houston, why not? I mean, they do have the two Philadelphia receivers going head to head. That's kind of interesting. Both in the first slot there.
Whoop-de-doo, Brian.
Yeah. All right, running backs. We got Eckler and Singletary going up against Cunt and Dobbins. Is Dobbins actually returning this week?
Well,
He must be.
I guess.
Not really. He participated today, so he's probably going to play. I'm going to give Eckler.
Eckler.
All right, Andrews or Gregorius?
Giovanni Kittle?
Yes.
Give me Andrews.
Yeah, Andrews. Duvernay or Freiermuth?
You pick for me.
Freiermuth. Butker versus Tucker. Tucker. And Cincy or Philly?
Philly
as well. All right. I truly took more of Jay's team here, except for Andrews and Eckler. He does have some nice receivers. I think Jay's Buns get it done. And hopefully Bean loses as well, so it won't matter.
Yeah, I'm rooting against Kevin.
Yeah.
But in this one, yeah, give me Eckler.
Give me Eckler. I love it.
Go for it, Jimmy. You got him. You got this. You get that bye, buddy.
All right.
I really do want to go in that hot tub next year. So
that would be lovely. That'd be a great
I'm
way to spend the
kind of
draft.
pulling for Jimmy.
Yeah.
Did you know he beat me twice by a total of like 14 points?
Wow, a combined 14 points. Wow.
Yeah, they're both single digit win, like 6 and 8 or something. So
That's
good for you, buddy.
All right, let's do you want to do Yinzer versus Ed?
Sure.
Hey, you know who my favorite kicker is?
Young Wei Koo?
No, Matt's gay.
Oh, yeah. Mine too. I didn't even think about that. Shit. Dang it. I'm not on my game. See, I would have gotten that if I was still not eliminated. Okay. In this next matchup that no one gives a fuck about, we got Ed Lager coming in fourth, clinch the division, clinch the playoffs, whatever.
Yep.
Going up against the clinching the bye there at 10-3. So at quarterback, man, this could be a cool matchup if it mattered. Mahomes versus Josh Allen. Both have touch matchups defensively.
Give me Allen. That is a good matchup.
Give me Mahomes. Okay. And then at wide receiver, we got Stephon Diggs, T. Higgins, and Adam Thielen. Going up against Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, and Gabe Dave.
Give me Diggs.
Diggs. And
Diggs and Higgs.
Diggy and Higgy. Okay. And then at running back, we've got Dalvin Cook and Jamal Williams going up against Saquon and Ain't So and Raheem Mostert. Give me Ed Lager.
Yeah, same. You got that head-to-head running back situation there.
I think Mostert's relegated to just mop up duty. Okay, and then for tight end, we got David Njoku making an appearance, hopefully, going up against Tyler Conklin. Give me Njoku.
Njoku as well.
And in the flex, we've got DeAndre Swift going up against Jameson Williams, is it?
Yep, good call.
With the pickle juice chaser. Pickle back in those shots, Brian. Give me DeAndre.
Yeah, DeAndre.
And then for kicker, we've got the Swede against the Folk. Give me the Swede.
Swedes already got 9.
And then finally, and only finally, we've got Baltimore at Pittsburgh, or we've got Miami at the Chargers. That's easy. Give me Baltimore.
Baltimore.
And Ed Lager's Larry's lead pipe lock of the week, Brian.
I think you're right.
I just don't see a path for Yinzi on this one.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully he's got to be, counting his lucky stars that he's got to buy, because, yeah, he's limping into the playoffs here.
That's an understatement. He really is limping.
So yeah, does KW3 have a chance of playing in the playoffs?
I hope so, because I have him in my other league.
Yeah,
that I actually care about.
and it's probably harder. It's probably harder. You can. Matt always likes to say that.
Dude, it's a 10-teamer. It's way harder. So yeah, we both like Ed Lager this week.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Cool. All right, so we're gonna keep that one for last. So we're gonna do Possum next. All right, in the next matchup we have the Surging Possum Magic going up against Darkwing Jut, who is also he's holding his own. He's staying out of the basement for now, and he's not gonna go to the basement, so that's good.
Yeah, he's doing better than I am.
So. Yeah, exactly. In 8th place, I mean, that's respectable. So we've got Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff.
Hurts,
yeah.
Hurts so good.
Jetty's got DPJ, Tyreek Hill, Nico Collins versus Amon-Ra St. Brown, Darius Slayton, Corey Davis. Wow, Corey Davis making an appearance.
This is a gross.
Yeah.
You got one good receiver on each.
And the rest is pretty much garbage.
Oh.
I'll take Tyreek. I don't know if he's healthy or not, but I'm gonna take him.
Yeah, why not?
All right, Nicholas Chubb and we got Algier, who's clearly not playing. So let's see here. Probably James Conner.
Probably, you'd think. Yeah. He might not put him in though. You never know.
He might not put him in. We do know that Bean has messaged him multiple times to set that lineup.
Sure.
Going up against Pearson Jacobs.
Tree size, baby.
Yeah, tree size. And we got Hurst versus Dolcic.
Dolcic, I guess. Yeah, he's going to play. So that's
playing. Yeah, that's helpful. Gibson also not playing. Hubbard in the flex. Really?
Yeah, I'll take Hubbard, I guess.
Yeah. Ouch. That's rough. Matt's Gay, best kicker in the league, versus Brett Maher.
Matt's Gay. I always pick Matt's Gay.
Yeah, you gotta go with Matt's Gay. I mean, that's why he's not here tonight. Matt's Gay.
Exactly.
Got some work party that's more important.
Some chick that. Yeah, I'm sure that Broken's gonna be like, "Why you gotta go to this chick's party? What? You guys messing around the break
Don't you have the podcast? Huh? Don't you have the podcast?
Oh, she's more important. I get it. I see how it is. I'll be with Finney.
Arizona versus Dallas, or Arizona or Dallas here. Yeah,
Dallas, please. I say Tree Size wins this one based on what I'm looking at here with 3 guys that aren't playing.
Yeah.
And then the ones that are playing are hurt. So yeah, I mean, okay, let's build him a lineup here. He's got Tyreek, he's got Hollywood Brown, he's got James Conner. This is gonna be a good matchup if he puts his guys in.
He sets his lineup.
Would you play Kyler Murray over Goff right now? With Goff in a really plus matchup, I'm sorry, he doesn't have Kyler Murray, he has Tua. Would you?
Oh, I would absolutely play Tua.
Yeah, you'd be playing Tua. Me too. Yeah. So hopefully he'll put his lineup in, and if so, we might have a good one. But I still think Tree Size is tough to beat these days. So
yeah, I'm gonna go Tree Size. I think Jacobs pours it on here in the second half, like he always does. He ends with probably about 30 points, gets over that 100-yard mark. So I'm giving this to Tree, and I'm really, really hoping Tree can sneak into that 6th spot, which leads us to our
The matchup of the week. We've got coming in the basement 4-9, not even wearing socks, just laying on the floor, waiting for someone to put him out of his misery. The Springfield Garbage Tips going up against our favorite,
yes,
one of our personal favorites in the league, a
yeah,
dear friend of mine, whether he likes it or not. We got Gagsy here trying to get this last win and get himself in there after missing that boat a couple times. So let's just dive right into it, Brian, because we care so much about this.
yes.
We've got Kirk Cousins at Detroit and Kyler Murray at home against New England.
I'm gonna go Cousins.
Kyler. I don't disrespect Detroit's D at all. Okay. And then at wideout, we've got Brandon Ayuk, Mike Evans, and Isaiah McKenzie. Ugh.
Yeah.
Going to get D Hop, Keenan Allen, and DK Metcalf, the Black Rhino. Give me Gagsy all day.
Gagsy for sure. And again, Craig could have gotten rid of Mike Evans. He hasn't really been performing very well. He could have gotten a nice return on him, but he chose not to.
Agreed. Okay. And running backs, we got TP Roll and Rashad White going up against Miles Sanders and Joe Mixon. No questionable. He must have cleared the protocol finally.
Yep.
Actually get to play the guy. Give me Gags.
Yeah, it'll be a good matchup here, I think. But I'm gonna say Gags by just a little.
Watch out for that Pollard guy against Houston. He might go nuts. Okay, and then in tight end, we've got Dalton Schultz against TJ Hawkinson. In a revenge game, give me TJ.
Yep, I'll go with Hawk.
And then for kicker, we've got Graham Gano and Slap of the Bass. Give me the base.
Yep, give me the base. And let's go back to that flex.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. This is how much I care. We've got Jalen Warren going up against Michael Gallup.
Gallup.
Okay, and then finally and only finally, Brian, we've got the defense of Seattle at home against Carolina, going up against New England at Arizona. Give me Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle.
Overall, I think Gags is going to win this.
Yeah, I mean, Craig's buns look a little stronger this week for me, but I think Gags is going to bring it home with the meat. He's got
he's got way more meat than Craig ever could have this week.
No doubt. And Gagsy, if he's able to pull this one off, most likely holds on to that 6th seed with a 7-7 record. And
unless Tree Tree would have to outscore him by 60. It would be blowout of the week,
Yeah, it would be. And it very well could happen. But
absolutely. Well, geez, it happens every week. Someone beats someone by that much.
Yeah.
God, fucking Derek Carr is a piece of shit. He picked up a 4-yard rush this half so far, so that's good.
That's positive.
That's a positive play and got me up to 13. So yeah, look, imagine if you were playing in a meaningful game and you had 10 points with Devontae right now.
I'd be sick. Plus, I'm also putting Cam Akers in there. It'd be
oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, no, you'd be sick over that.
Yeah,
but you would have Cam in the running back spot. I know you.
That's all. That's very true. And I still think I'm going to be able to pull it out against Dub C, and I hope I do, just for principle here. But
this is a really boring game.
Yeah, it really is. All right. Any closing thoughts on the final week of the season? I mean, we're both feeling like Craig did 8 weeks ago, waiting for the season to be over, turn the page.
Kind of makes me wish we had incentives for last place teams to get.
Again, that's why we need to have a serious off-season meeting, and maybe we do it right out, like you said, right after the season, and just get it out of the way while everything's fresh, instead of thinking what was the other thing we wanted to talk about?
Exactly. Possum with 3 wins in a row. He was 3-7, really.
Wow. Yeah. And that was one of my unfinished business. He almost traded Jacobs to me 3 weeks ago. And he wanted ETN, and looking back, I should have given him up. Should have given.
Sure. It's easy to play that game, though.
I know. I was gonna give him Watson and ETN, and I couldn't pull the trigger. So, and here I am on the outside looking in.
Fuck it. It's
but
you weren't gonna win anyway.
No,
you
probably
made the
not.
playoffs.
Probably not. You're right. Actually, I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
Dude, you saved yourself some heartbreak, and that's what I did for myself as well. I feel great.
Yeah, I have a slightly above average team, but yeah, not much more than that.
Well, since the regular season's coming to a close, Brian, who do you think can make a serious run here? Because
in the playoffs,
I feel like my favorite teams to do damage are Ed Lager.
He's up there for me.
And maybe Jimmy with Tom Brady and some of those guys, and Eckler and that, but
yeah,
you got to think that the favorites are going to be Yins or Jags, and I think Ed Lager might have one of the best teams going into.
I think pound for pound, he's got the best team in the league, and I think most people would agree.
And I'll tell you what, dude, if Gags takes care of business and gets in, his team's scary too. His receivers are Hopkins, Allen, and Metcalf.
Yeah.
He's got Sanders and another good running back. Who's he got? Somebody. Who's Gags have? And Hawkinson's, and New England's D.
Oh, Mixon.
Mixon, yeah. So that team, does he have anybody on bye? No,
not really.
Okay, not a lot of depth there, but
yeah,
with Kyler Murray, you know that he can light up some big games.
That New England D is pretty stuff.
I mean, he's 178 points a week.
Yeah, that's a nice average.
So he's got a good team too. And I guess Kevin has an all right team too, I guess.
Let's just
But really, do you think that Geno Smith's going to do the thing in the playoffs and do the thing that he's supposed to do and suck?
Like, I don't know. Like, who does he have on bye that's going to come back here? Like, nobody really.
Lazard, maybe.
Lazard, I guess, maybe.
You can't really trust him.
Maybe a flex.
I don't know what his defense. I'm sure he's got his defensive matchups lined up.
Probably,
he's got a decent. See, I feel like him and Jimmy and Josh, they're kind of around the same area as far as like team strength goes. They're all good teams, obviously the ones that made the playoffs. But I just feel like when you got Josh Allen or Patty Mahomes, that makes you a little bit more dangerous, and that's why I think that Yinzer and Ed could be what we're looking at in the finals here.
Yep, could be. I still say don't sleep on Tree if he's able to get in. I mean, he's got a pretty solid lineup with Aaron Jones not playing this week. Pittman Jr. I know you're not crazy about him.
That's personal preference, but I mean, he did have like 4 points after I said that. So just
yeah, I'd like to see Tree get in. I always root for the underdog. I always root for the teams that don't have a championship.
Same. Well, in a way, I mean, if they have 0 championships, I kind of want them to be in the bottom with me at my own personal shit table.
That's right. That's right.
I don't want them leaving me for a table with championships.
Like, yeah, the one table, which is like me, Jimmy. Who else has one? It might just be, I don't know who else.
I think Darkwing Jut has one.
Yeah, he has one. So I think it's basically us 3 that have only one. Jay never won it, did he?
Or Josh only has one then.
You're right. So Josh joined the table, yeah. So I guess there's at least 4 of us.
Maddie's got 3.
Gagsy's got 3.
Kevin's got 2. Ed 0. Gags 3. 3 or 4. Possum 0. Disco 0, Jay 0, and then what, 5 or 6 for Craig? Is it 5?
Who cares? He's in the basement.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? He's in last place. He sucks.
I'll be honest, I did not get a chance to watch his recap. Is there anything worth mentioning?
I didn't watch it, Brian, because I didn't
Okay.
win. So
Yeah, exactly. We're
not to mention that was a heartbreaker. I'm sure he had a lot of funny things to say about how Tom Brady scorched me at the end. So
I'm
yeah, I didn't
sure.
want to hear about it.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to hear him talk about how I made the only wrong quarterback choice. I didn't want to hear it. Didn't want to hear
Or be like, hey, if you hadn't made that trade with Darren Waller and you kept your Jerick McKinnon in there, you would have won. Like, thanks. I know.
it.
So that sort of thing. Yeah, let's just avoid that. But
I'll pass on that heartache.
yeah, hopefully okay, so all right. So this is what Kevin was talking about. He's got 80 points on Jimmy, and that's why he wanted me to beat him, obviously.
Yeah.
Ed Lager's ahead of him in points. And actually, Josh is only 28 points behind him as well. So any of these three teams can,
Get a bye.
if Jimmy were to lose, then
That's crazy. I don't think you normally see that many teams vying for that second bye spot in the last week.
I remember one year, and I think it was 3 years ago, the last week of the season, I could have finished in as high as second and as low as like ninth.
in the last week.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I did neither, but I made the playoffs, but obviously it didn't work out. But yeah, and I think Josh also had one of those, maybe not last year or the year before, where it was like he could have been second or totally out.
Yeah.
Based upon how it shook out. So at least we've got, 5 teams in and then just 2 teams fighting for one spot. But that bye week, everybody wants that bye week.
Yeah, and
Give yourself a
everyone
little
except
break.
for Gags in Possum can get it. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Man, you and I really, and Saquon really just shit the bed on the way out. I finished the season with a 4-game losing streak. You had 3, and then Jay had a 5-game losing streak. That's nuts.
Yeah. And I
You're
remember you
4 and
saying like,
4. Yeah,
okay, at 5 and 4, you're like, this is where I gotta chop my meat
that's right. That's
or
right.
whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I
no,
got chopped.
we were all around
Yeah.
500 and then just but it's the way it goes sometimes. I
Yep.
guess. I don't know. Yeah, it was a tough
Let's
year, Brian.
yeah.
I'm glad it's over.
Hey, at least this is the only, meaningless week. It's always good to
True.
play meaningful football, fantasy football, and
I mean, for us personally, I mean, it
right.
still sure matters to those guys going for a bye, but
Absolutely. But they're not here, and we are.
exactly. It's what you guys got, especially you, Maddie. I mean, you were supposed to be the one that like brought the thing up.
Yeah,
Brian, I don't give a fuck about this.
care less. You had brought the only energy to this podcast.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, are you ready, Disco?
I'm always ready, Brian. Oops.
All right. Hey,
All right, brother.
good luck to everyone except for Kevin Bean.
Samesies.
All right.
Swagging. Ike Taylor.
Later.
Later.